Hey everybody, it's Kyle. Hey, I wanted to do a quick live video today. I'm down in my basement office, but something happened last night that I wanted to share with you, and it was me losing my temper with Eric, my 18-year-old son on the spectrum. And so since Christmas, Eric got his own Roku, which means he can watch Netflix kind of in his own room at will. And it's kind of changed him a little bit. He doesn't have to ask for it anymore. And we have some safety guards on there to protect him from watching the wrong things and everything. But it seems like it's changed him, and he's a little bit more aggravated and a little more easily tipped than he used to be. So we're going to work on that. But last night I went upstairs, and he was about to start a new episode of one of his favorite shows. And I said, "Hey, Eric, let's not start a new episode. And let's get our pajamas on and come down and spend a few minutes with the family." Well, in disgust, he slapped his leg real hard and really gave me a dirty look, like he was really angry. And it honestly, it kind of tipped me. And that's not like me. Generally, nothing really tips me. I'm really calm, cool, and collected. And generally, the madder he gets or the more tipped he gets, the more calm I get. But for some reason, I mimicked his actions and slapped my own leg so he could see how it looked. Well, that made it worse, and he screamed at me, "Shut up!" And so I yelled back, I'm embarrassed to say, "You shut up." Well, that popped him up out of the chair, stood up, and physically confronted me at that point. And again, this is very, very unusual because typically I de-escalate things like crazy. And the minute he stood up, I realized my mistakes and immediately went into a different state. And that state was, "You know what, Eric? I'm sorry. I shouldn't have yelled at you. Please don't yell at me." But by then he was already escalated and continuing to ramp up. And so he started screaming at me to leave his room. He started screaming at me that he hates me, all those things that he tries to do. But by then I had reset myself back into a calm state and was able to quietly talk to him for about 4 or 5 minutes until he came back to his normal self. Now, this is in dire contrast to the way he used to be. Anytime he used to ramp up, it didn't matter how it was going to take him half an hour to an hour to 40. I mean, it was going to take a long time to come back down. But because we as a family know what we're supposed to do and know how to bring him back to square so quickly, we were able to do that. Within 5 minutes, he was downstairs in the living room sitting down with us. He wasn't happy, but at least he was back to a state where he wasn't screaming and yelling and angry at everybody. So I just wanted to share with you that. I know I've got I have a lot of families I work with that say, "Do you ever mess up, Kyle?" Because I seem to have all the answers. And the truth is, I know what to do. It's not always easy to do it, even for me sometimes. I don't know what happened last night. I don't know what happened to me that set me into a state of escalation where I made it worse on him. But luckily, I was able to even catch myself and bring myself back very quickly, which allowed me to bring him back very quickly too. And if that's something that interests you, those are the kind of things we teach on our Insiders group. I'll put a little link on this to how you can look into it a little bit if you want to. But the bottom line is this, is when they are frustrated or get escalated, they don't need us to do that too. And we can become more of the problem than we really have to be. When he slapped his leg in disgust, all I really had to do was say, "You know what, Eric? I understand you're not happy. Please don't be mean." And that's what I normally do, and that's the common thing I do. And immediately he comes down from that and goes into a better state. But because I escalated it, and I guess that's the question you have to ask yourself, how often does our frustration with their frustration increase their frustration and then increase our frustration? We might be the reason for so much stress. And I know I was last night. Since then, I've apologized to him, and I told him I wouldn't do it again. And and it brought him back to where he needed to be, which is a generally happy, loving son that we can all love in our family and have a lot of fun with. So that's my message for today. Have a great day. Don't be the reason your kids escalate even more. Be the reason they come down quickly. And what you'll find is you can lower stress in your home, and you can bring back the happiness and joy that you feel like you might be missing. Have a great day. I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.